Also at 4 o'clock, we'll get into the Tigers. Good weekend. They win 2 out of 3. Just one series. They lost yesterday, but that's okay. Open up a series with the Milwaukee Brewers tonight in Milwaukee. Now, you guys have done tons of blitzes over the years of excellence on your program. Most of them have been football.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get a football blitz in.
Okay.
But before we get to that, Stoney, I do want to add something to this, your topic.
Okay.
I do have a guy that I want to see a title for, and maybe I'm selfish because I would like to see him win a title in a specific spot, and that's Devin Booker here in Detroit. I do. Devin Booker, I mean, he's like Mr. Detroit not being in Detroit.
I know.
He's always at games. He's always rocking a Detroit cap. I mean, he was at MSU, even though he could have gone there but went to Kentucky. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
I like to see Devin Booker. On the flip side, you know, this was a person who I really started off liking, but he just can't get out of his own way. And now I'm to the point where it's like, I really hope you don't. That's Ja Morant. Ja's just turned into a hot mess.
They play what, Golden State in the play-in? I hope Golden State wins. I hope Golden State screwed themselves yesterday by losing that game.
The game, right?
The Clippers, you know. Clippers are playing some good basketball.
See, I see what you did there with Devin Booker because we want him traded to the Detroit Pistons this offseason. So on that note, you got me thinking here because between me and Stoney, there's another guy on that team.
Yeah.
That's probably going to get traded in this offseason. Stoney is for him to come to Detroit. I'm against him to come to Detroit. And that is Kevin Durant.
No.
Here's why I bring it up, because I don't want to end up like the previous caller. I don't want to root against the Pistons ever to never win. I don't want KD to ever win another title. I don't want him here because I don't want to root against my team.
He doesn't qualify because he's already won.
True.
And he won a gold medal and basically single-handedly.
But he needed
the previous Olympics.
He needed Steph's help on all of that to win.
Right, because when he went out on his own and said, I don't need the Warriors to do this. I'll get my own big three.
And it didn't work. I understand that. By the way, the Olympics where I'm referring to was not this Olympics. It was the previous Olympics.
Well, he still needed Steph.
A little bit, but Durant was the guy when they needed, when the games were on. Anyway.
Steph hit him with the night in the Olympics.
This time around.
Yes. Look, I understand most people don't like Durant, especially like Wojo, but I just think for his love and appreciation, love might be strong, of Cade Cunningham and what he will be asked to do, which is basically not be a leader, just score points. I think he'd be okay for this team. He'd be good for this team.
Stoney, what you're saying makes total sense, but let me stop you right there. When it comes to Kevin Durant, everybody sees that Kevin Durant should take a lesser role except for one person, Kevin Durant. He believes, I'm the star of the team, right? So, Cade, you're going to be my backup guy. You're going to be the Robin to me. And this is why every team he goes to, it falls apart because people get enamored like, oh, my God, it's Kevin Durant. And what has he done? He's ruined teams. Wherever he goes, they just spiral and just become obsolete. So, no. With the Pistons, young roster, up and coming, no. If you're going to trade for anybody on that Suns team, do what you can. You bring in Booker. I think Booker and Cade can work together. Durant, you're just tasting the playoffs for the first time. If you get Kevin Durant, Stoney, you're going backwards. It's going to look great. People are going to run down there initially to see him play in that Pistons jersey until one day he walks in and gets bored and just plays like Durant, and the next thing you know, you're trying to trade him.
How many more years does he have on his contract, though? Like 1 or 2, right? So it's not a long-term commitment. That's why I think it works. If he had like a 5-year deal, I would say absolutely no.
See, I don't think he's willing to just take a back seat. And Kevin Durant back in the day, I get it, but now you're not the man. But imagine if he let Cade be Cade.
I think he would.
I don't think his ego would let him stop.
I think the problem with Phoenix was certainly not him. I think it was the whole Bradley Beal and all that.
The problem with Phoenix was
Ishbia.
Yeah, he came in there and he tore that whole thing up.
Right, they did it today. If you don't know, they fired Budenholzer today, which
third coach in 3 years.
Yeah, for what people who I know pretty well with that organization have told me, a lot of people didn't like him. So this was it was not that much of a surprise.
You gutted the team with trying to get Kevin Durant.
Right, which was a bad move.
I mean, that was a team that, took the Bucks 6 games. They won the first 2. And then, Kevin Durant, I'm with David on this one. With this young team, I don't think he's going to fit right in because he's going to come in saying, well, I know everything. I've won a title. You guys hop on my back, and I'll take you to the promised land. I don't see that happening.
Let me ask you this about Booker, because I love Booker, and we know that money's not an object if it comes to like luxury tax and all that. But do you think a team in today's NBA with aprons and crap that I just don't understand would be able to realistically have 2 super max players or max players with Cade and Booker?
It's called the Boston Celtics.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, I was about to say, that may be another year of that. I don't know how long that can go.
Right.
Okay, but but you know what? Boston got a title?
Yeah.
You think they care?
No, not anymore.
No.
They're trying to repeat
it goes
right
like in
now,
football.
but yeah.
Rams, F those picks. Get Matthew Stafford. They won.
Look, I'd be thrilled if they got Devin Booker. Love it if they got somebody younger who wouldn't cost as much, if whoever that would be. But Devin Booker, sign me up.
So, I mean, that's the guy. I would like to see Devin Booker win one, specifically one here in Detroit.
248-539-9797. Say good afternoon to John in Detroit. What's up?
Hey, hi, guys. This is the problem I have with Booker. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? This is the problem I have with Booker. He's never won anything, and he's never really carried anybody in a playoff series. What has he done? And look, before you respond to that, the problem with Durant, I don't think it's so much Durant. It's the bad trades they made for Durant. For example, Phoenix gave up all their bench to get Durant.
Yeah,
they have nobody else.
They gave out Bridges too, right?
Yeah. Cam Johnson, Bridges,
so, they gave up everybody, and pretty much so did
Brooklyn.
The Nets.
Yeah.
The Nets Brooklyn did the same thing. So I'd like to see Durant on this team with this team intact, but that's never going to happen because everybody that trades for Durant has to give up the shop to get it. But Booker, show me something Booker's done where he carried the team over a stretch.
He got his team to the finals, John.
Series.
He got them to the finals, and then they ran into Giannis.
And they were up in that series.
They were up 2-0 in the series, and then they ran into Giannis, and then they had a 4-game sweep in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and since then, what has he done? He can't even get his team to the playoffs. Well, I like Booker, but I just don't think he's going to be a compliment to Cade. I think he'll be a distraction to Cade.
But see, John, I think you kind of answered your own question. They gutted the team, so now it's just Booker, Beal, and KD.
Beal doesn't even play.
Beal doesn't play. So you're basically playing 2-on-5 hoops every night.
Yeah. So is that Durant's fault? That's the organization's fault.
No, I agree with you on that.
It's the organization's fault, but, John, I don't think that Durant would come here and be willing to be the second guy. That's the problem.
You might be okay, even though he's getting up there in age and he does have rings and he's got championships, like you say, USA and that. So can you – and like Stoney said, his admiration for Cade, right, let alone – I think would help build a good relationship with this team. But I don't really think that's what is needed for this team. They need a second big scorer that doesn't demand the ball. I love the way we need a younger Tobias Harris, somebody who doesn't command the ball but can make that one-on-one shot more consistently and maybe create his own shot more consistently. That's what I'd like to see for the Pistons.
I think
who that is, I don't know.
But look, as much as I want Durant does demand the ball in his own little way.
And in all fairness, yes, Durant won, but let's look at the team that he won with. If you could have put anybody on that team and that Warriors, they would have won with the Warriors. They had the Splash Brothers. Durant was just like, okay, pick your poison. Do you want these guys to shoot threes or does Durant take the game over? I think he ended up being the series MVP, but it's like they were like, dude, we just want another ring. We don't care who leads the team. You want to lead the team, fine. We're going to have another parade.
They didn't losing 3-1, and they brought a guy in, so they don't have to do that again.
Right. Would he have won another one if he didn't get hurt during that series too, right?
No, he would have won another one if him and Draymond would have just got along. Draymond basically said, quit being a punk.
Would he have won with the Nets if his feet were just like a quarter of an inch too smaller?
I don't think he would have won that one, but That was tough,
They
man.
would
That was
have gone to
tough.
the finals, though,
Yeah,
right?
that was
Was
tough.
that the one they would have went
Against
to?
Philly, right? Wasn't that against Philly?
No, I thought it was against Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, they would have They would have played the Suns.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yes,
they would
yes,
have played the Suns
yes.
in that series.
Yeah.
You know what? Learn what a 3-point line is. Oh, it sucks to be you. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, 97 won the tick.